What's up, everyone? We're back with another awesome episode of Walt's Apart Presents with the one, the only Luis Medina in the house. Let's go.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and you listen to a podcast that believes in dreams, that places trust in the magic of imagination. That is always the first start of the right, and where the light is always on. Join as we discuss reviews from Walt's apartment.
We are here back with another episode of Walt's Apartment Presents. Got a fun episode tonight. Got a special co-host with me tonight, Amanda. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been looking forward to this day for some time. Right. So I'm super stoked.
Well, I'm glad to have you in here. You know, it's been a whole year since we said goodbye to our friend Louis. You know, a year ago, Louis left the show. He didn't die. No, but he left the show to go on to do bigger things. Now all those big things are coming to fruition, and we could talk about it today. So it's my honor to welcome back to the show our friend, more than anything else, but also one of my sponsors, one of the former co-hosts. But like I said, our friend Louis Medina, Sunken City Designs. How you doing, brother? How you been?
I'm doing pretty good until you described me as your sponsor. I thought we were at an AA meeting there for a minute. It's like, oh,
you are. We have
deep in there, my friend.
We have, not that. Every time I say, like, if I'm at work and I say, here's a pen from one of my sponsors, like, oh, I'm like, no, not that kind of sponsors.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, though? I'm stoked to be here. I'm stoked to celebrate, your first day sober, just like your first day sober yesterday. I love celebrating everyone's first. No, I'm stoked to be here, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And like I said, you left the show last year, and we had probably one of the best shows we've ever done as the Louis goodbye episode, where everyone, so many surprises, so much fun. But you left to do some pretty cool ass things, and all those things are starting to come up now. And I know personally for me, I'm so excited for what you got coming. I know Amanda is one of your biggest supporters as well. And we're just so excited and proud of you for what you've done. But this episode here, Walt's Apartment Presents, is kind of to get to know the real Lou, which, a lot of people know you as the one that has the controversial topics and the controversial thoughts on stuff, and you speak your mind, which we love. But your first passion is art, always has been art, and that's how we met you, was through art, 5 or 6 years ago. And you got a lot of cool things coming up. So we're going to shoot this like a regular freaking interview, like you're just a regular guest. We're going to ask you questions. We're going to have some fun. We're going to go back and forth. We'll banter. Getting started with this, when did you realize that art was more than just a hobby for you?
Well, to that question, when was it more than a hobby? I'm going to say 2018, 2019. That's when I realized it was more than a hobby, and decided to take it elsewhere and do other things. But that was about the time. And at that point, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm drawing, I'm creating. I got friends that are like, hey, you could do more with this. And I'm like, all right. And I ordered my first batch of prints and, well, went from there. And my first batch of posters were from Vistaprint, and they were poor quality, but everyone wanted them. And that's when I realized, hey, this is no longer a hobby. Like, this could be something. And I went through a few different name changes. My original name when I first started was Medina Ink. It was just my last name, and then Ink spelled I-N-K. And that ran up until 2020. And I don't know what happened. I had a big sale where I was giving out envelopes for one low price. It was a print, 2 stickers, a cool little bundle deal for $20. In that same weekend, I was sitting in my living room and I was like, I think I'm going to rebrand myself. And that's what I did. I rebranded. I've stuck with the scents. But yeah, everybody thought, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you have this active sale going on right now under Medina Ink. Like, you're selling Medina Ink stickers.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just not feeling it no more. And one of the challenges was the word ink. Everyone thought I either tattooed or they thought I was like, incorporated.
Fair.
And it's neither. And so I just didn't like the name, wasn't feeling it no more. And that's when I rebranded to Sunken City Designs. And that's been the name that not only I've kept since, but has gotten me to places that I never thought I'd be.
Awesome. Amanda.
Yeah. No, I think what you just described is very much you. In the short time that we've known you, you are very much, you analyze the situation and you go, is this working or is this not working? And if it's not working, we need to pivot like now. There's no sense in keeping something going if it's not sitting with you. And that was a perfect example of that. Not feeling it? Who cares if we're in the middle of a sale? We're going to pivot. We're going to do it right now. So I think that speaks volumes to your drive and your determination and your vision for what you want this business to be. So I applaud that, because that can be really scary, and a lot of self-doubt and what am I doing? And is this the right time? But you went for it, and that takes courage. So kudos to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, Medina Ink was slowly getting around. I was doing the Riverside Art Walk, was doing a bunch of tours down like towards Disneyland, and it was working. But at the same time, it wasn't. I was piggyback on people's booths. I was like, hey, you mind if I bunk up with you? If someone tapped out, I took their spot. But then I was showing up with circle stickers instead of like die cut stickers. I was showing up with prints that were 4x6 prints from Walgreens that were just horrible quality. I remember my first booth that I paid for, it was a 10x10. I had 3 tables with about, I'd say 15 to 20 glass framed original artwork. And it was the worst idea ever because I had no displays. So they were just sprawled out across 3 tables. And well, one good wind gust came and ruined half of them. Yeah, milk crates. Anybody that knows me, milk crates are my jam. I think they're the tool of the trade. And I had them holding frames up. Wind gust came up and murdered it. Took that, my Easy Up, it was like my Dollar Tree tablecloth that I was trying to preserve for the weekend. Yeah, I learned a lot that day. And I look back at that day and I'm like, man, what was I thinking?
Sounds like Road Comic-Con with the rain that year you were up there.
That's probably top 5. Not worst events in the sense of events, but top 5 moments where I was like, just pack it up. Just pack it. Like, hey, let's just hang out and have fun. The event itself, I love the people of Medford. I love Oregon. I've only been out there the one time. Shout out to Killer Burgers and their peanut butter burger. But it was a good time. I look forward to getting back there eventually. But right now, the plate is overly full.
We're going to talk about that plate. That plate is really, really full. So, was there a time when you were, I don't know when you started actually doing art, was there a time that you said you became inspired to become an artist? Is there like a time like, I really want to do this and this is what I want to do?
So art for me has always been an outlet. It's one of the pillars. It is the pillar for my show coming up. But for me, it started, I want to say it was 1999. Yeah, it was 1999. And I was on the doorsteps of our house in Pedro. And my older brother, Tommy, was drawing. He was doing a graffiti piece, 2 baby blocks with a teddy bear sitting on top of it. Mm-hmm. And it was just something that screamed like, dude, that's sick. And so I started drawing. And since then, teddy bears have been my thing. And it was not because of the teddy bears themselves. So one of my characters that I've came up with, his name is Tom, which is short for Tommy, who's my older brother. But it's got a beat up look to him. He's always, that is probably like the 9th rendition of him. But he's always got the tethered neck, the chipped ears, the stitches, and it just shows like, hey, you could be soft and cuddly, but like there are signs of wear and tear, you know. The top hat that came later on. The top hat came later on, and that was just more of like thinking outside the box, thinking differently, looking at things a little bit differently. A friend of mine just told me last week, she said, Lou, she said, you're the type of person that will tell someone to their face you hate them, and in that same conversation, be willing to give them the shirt off your back. She said, I don't get it, but that's how you are.
Yep.
And so for me, the top hat has become kind of a staple. Even here when I was on the show, the Mad Hater, like it just allows, you don't know what's going to be pulled out of the hat. And for me, I just love that like metaphor to it. And recently when I was in school, the hat became even thicker into the story of Tom, to the point where Tom is no longer just a sliced head off of a teddy bear. Like I've drawn him up and given him a full body, a full backstory. Like I have it in my portfolio, but like I have side profiles of him. And so Tom's always been not only like my safe place as an artist, but whenever I'm trying a new medium, he's the first one out the gate. When I tried wood burning, it was Tom. Tried painting, it was Tom. Sculpting, it was Tom. Even down to merch. My first t-shirt was a DTG. For those that don't know what that is, that's direct to garment. And at the time when that technology came out, you could only print on white t-shirts because it dyed into the t-shirt. And so first t-shirt out the gate, it was Tom. Like, absolutely, let's go. And so it's always been my safe place as an artist, but then there's always the deeper root to what Tom is. And that's a call to my older brother who, hey, he doesn't spend money just to spend money. He spends money to make more money. And it's always, hey, how do I take care of everybody around me?
Wow. I had no idea it was your brother. I had no idea that was that's very cool.
Yeah. So it was 1989, the stairways of San Pedro, where I got my inspiration to just really draw.
That's fair. Okay. Perfect.
That's awesome. No, I think I recall that there was a deeper significance to Tom, but that went way deeper than I thought that was going to go. That's powerful. And so, what does your brother know that connection?
So my brother found out just recently when there's a project that is in the works, but it's been in the work for a few years now, where I wanted my brother to voice him.
Oh, wow.
And I'll leave it at that. But like, so my brother found out more recently, and actually a lot of people found out more recently, that because Tom didn't have a name. I just knew that was the drawing that my brother inspired me. Tom got his name, that image you pulled up just a little while ago, when that was my first graphic that I had. Now, I did not do this one. I did commission someone to vector it for me. This was and I had them vector it so I could make shirts. When this design became official under the Medina Ink brand, that's when this character got the name Tom.
That's awesome.
There's other renditions where Tom is just fully like, if you go down, for those that follow me on Instagram, you go down to the very bottom and like, there's a version of Tom. You're just like, yeah, he's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it wasn't until recently did he get named. And until recently did my brother find out that he was named after him.
That's so cool. Let's do this. I'm gonna try to be good this show and actually play the commercials. So we're actually gonna play our first spot here, and let's just start off with some Sunken City, and we'll go from there. We'll be right back.
Sunken City Designs brings you art. Do you like art? I know I do. How about art based on Disney characters like Mickey Mouse and the Oyster Thief? That's actually from Alice in Wonderland, the best princess movie ever made. Also, we have some dwarfs that have their heads ripped off sometimes. Why? I don't know. It's because it's Sunken City Design. So go there, sunkencitydesign.com. Get yourself some great merchandise. You got posters and, I believe, clothes. Who knows? I got a cup from there, and it's fantastic. You like cups? Do you ever use those? I do. Go for it. Oh yeah, sweatshirts. Can't forget about those. If you're ever cold, get yourself a sweatshirt from sunkencitydesign.com. Also, Wall-E. You know, that's the best movie ever made. Second only to Alice in Wonderland. All right, if you also like Walt's apartment, they have merch for that too. Where? sunkencitydesign.com. Hopefully you've already loaded up that site and you're looking at it and you have some items in your cart. Go ahead and check out as soon as you can because the show's about to come back on. All right, everybody, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you for doing that. Sunken City Design, they're awesome. So I do want to switch gears. We got a little bit about the backstory. If you do want to switch gears into Sunken City and how that got started, you did send me this here a second ago. This is the iteration of all the different. So you have the Medina Inc. logo there in the middle. Sunken City Designs. I think this one down here on the lower right is where we were when we first met, or I don't know if it might have been the anchor. It might have been one of these two bottom ones here.
Yeah, so the blue anchor was very short-lived, roughly about 6 to 7 months. And then the two signatures in the top right up towards the Walt's apartment logo, depending on how you guys are viewing it. Yeah. There is the S anchor. The S anchor on the left is the original one, and it was not well done. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing on Adobe Illustrator. And then the one to the right, where it's a little bit more curved, flows, that one became the official one. Now, this one right here, the Sunken City Design, there is even a story to that logo. So that logo is a S, a C, and a D, all brought together by the anchor. What is holding it together? Really the anchor. The anchor, the point on the anchor is a callback to the harbor area, which is San Pedro, which is where Sunken City, the place, actually is. And it wasn't until recently that it was pointed out that, for those that know me, I'm not a big church person, but I'm very much a faith-based person. And someone pointed out that there's a cross in there too. It was not in the intended design. However, I do like that little, almost lore to it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that logo was made, and it's been slowly evolving up to the top left. The top left one that's the newest one, and that's probably the final one. I mean, that's the one I've been working with since then. The word design sits in the word city. Everyone calls it Sunken City. No one really calls it Sunken City Designs. That's just kind of a legal thing, I guess you could say. So it's hidden in there. And then the S anchor is that's the signature. You'll find that all my pieces, except for more recently, my initials have now found their way onto the signature. And that is just that personal touch to it. One artist I have followed for just a little bit of time, but have just ate up all of their pieces of work. That's Noah with Noah's Fine Art, one of the Disney artists. You know, you got to market yourself, invest in yourself, and that's why the initials have found their way on to all of the prints and originals now.
Okay, perfect. You actually answered the question I was going to ask, was how you got the name. You actually answered it. So, Amanda, what do you have?
So in the ad and in some of the pieces that we've seen, you have a very unique style. You know, Kevin mentioned, sometimes dwarves have their heads ripped off, and that's going to happen. But how would you describe your art style?
Ooh.
While you're doing that, I'm going to throw up a couple of your pictures.
It is
definitely different.
For me, I would describe it as illustration. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that don't like the word street art, but it's street art, new school. But that style came from when I was younger. I was trying to draw the Disney characters, which was a big influence of me drawing. And I always try to draw them exactly and it would just make me mad that I'd get frustrated. Until one day I was just kind of flowing and vibing, and I was like, you know what? Let's have fun with it. And so for me to dial in my style, I would just say it's kind of a graffiti illustration.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fine detail on it, but there is detail. And traditionally in graffiti art, you're just trying to get in, get out, put that character on the wall, and be gone.
You know, it's funny because in my office, I have 4 of your pictures, and I had 4, and I brought those 4 pictures with us to Oregon because we were going to give them away. But then when I was there, I got more. We gave away some of the ones that I had, but then I got 4 more, and then I came back to my office. I put them back up in my office. Before they were behind my customers, now they're behind me, and customers all the time. I'm like sitting there talking to a customer, and then they're like this, like looking over my shoulder, and I'm like, hello, and they're like, why is their head cut off? Like, then they ask me questions. I have no idea. And this one here gets so many comments.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
This
so
one
much.
here, I have this one in my office, and I get so much. I think I have this one, which I know that one's, yeah.
So those 2 you just shared, the Mansion Buddies one is an interesting piece.
I love that one. It's probably my favorite.
The reason, it's a, I guess, not to be cheesy about it, it's a fan favorite.
Oh, for sure.
And the reason, but that piece is interesting because the Mad Hatter was drawn like 2 years prior. Like, so here's a little tidbit, and you can see it. The detail on the Hatter's face is very minimal. The eyebrows are very direct.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the shading on the hitchhiking ghost, it's a little bit different. The depth of what they carry versus the Hatter, that's different. And then, so I drew the hitchhiking ghost separately. When I added them together, it was suggested to me from a friend of mine. And then the backdrop, that was just a natural thing. But what's even cooler about it is the original to the hitchhiking ghost. The 2 on the outside are on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So this design has lived in probably about 7 or 8 different variations.
Like I said, I get the most compliments and comments on that picture in my office. So it's definitely, I think I bought that when we were in MouseCon, right? I made sure I got one of those because those were, yeah, I love that one. So cool. And I get a lot of comments about the turtle, the turtles as well. People love the freaking turtles. So
turtles will never die. I mean, the turtles on a good day can give Mickey a run for his money in the sense of artwork and stuff like that.
100%.
It's funny. It's funny you shared the Mickey's Most Wanted one because that's its second name.
Is that this one here?
That's that one. It was originally called Mickey's Self-Portrait. Now, mind you, this one doesn't see the light of day no more. Unfortunately, dude.
I knew you would bring that up.
It doesn't see the light of day no more for 2 reasons. One, it was a wonderful day at work. You get a cease and desist email about that design.
Oh,
and if anyone knows the cease and desist, yeah, it's all bad. I decided to, on company time, to use the company's laminator, laminate it, walk around the office, and show it off. But more recently, that piece doesn't see the light of day because the fact that even though it wasn't, and I have an original to prove it, it does smell, look, and feel very AI generated. Especially when you look at like the Minnie and the Goofy in the back. There's so minimal detail on there that it's like, people are like, that's AI. And it's not. I promise you it's not. However, I can see why. And so that's why for a lot of the pieces for the show, I was there's a lot of detail packed into, a lot of story into it.
Yeah.
That way I can get away from that. But one thing that I like doing with all my work is I'll bring my portfolio. And if anyone ever wants to say, hey, did you draw that? Absolutely. I mean, there's a piece that I'm working on right here for the show. It's for so Tom's Mental Health is a piece that I did a while back. I did that the night that I left my youth job. Came home, was not liking it. And so Tom's mental health has been in rotation. Well, for the show, we have Tom's Nightmare, and then oh my gosh, I'm blanking the name.
Uh-oh.
But it's Tom's Nightmare, and then there's another one that involves like dreams and like wishful thinking and all that stuff. But for anybody that wants to like, hey, do you draw it? I absolutely do. So here is the base for Tom's Nightmare.
Wow.
You know,
God, Tom has evolved too. That's crazy. You're right. Tom has really evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the way it works is, so there's the rough, just sketched out, scribbled, finding it. I take a piece of paper, I retrace my artwork, and then that's where it gets added.
How much time?
What's that?
How much time in a piece?
Well, I mean,
pencil to paper. How much? I mean, what, you know?
Pencil to paper, just consolidated, not interrupted by the kiddos. I'd say about that one, 30, 45 minutes, if that. I mean, it'd probably be a little bit less. Last night, I was able to vector, which is the digitally drawing, Tom's Nightmare completely in about an hour and a half.
Right on.
And that one it's coming out pretty cool, but like with me trying to find your style, and I'm trying to get away from the fan art. The fan art's fun. Fan art's easy.
Sure.
The fan art is known by everybody. But in the show, there's a lot of pieces that have a deep root to mental health. That's if it wasn't art, that's the second thing I'm passionate about. And so this one right here, Tom's Nightmare, is it's been a fun one, but it's been a hard one to draw.
Sure.
And I think there's the entire Tom's mental health series. That one was inspired by a music artist called Kid Cudi, and he has the Solo Dolo Part 1, 2, and 3. Tom, the final that I did for him, that entire project was inspired by the Man on the Moon album, to the point where like I did the moon with Tom's face kind of morphed in there. And but yeah, it's a fun opportunity. I'm 99% sure that I got way off topic from your question.
You're totally fine. It's totally fine. It's all good. Amanda, any other questions about Sunken City?
Oh, of course. But one thing that I just want to highlight for anyone listening or watching who may not be familiar with your work, that every piece, you mentioned the detail, every piece is, I'm going to use oozing with detail.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this mental health series that you've put together, and I know there's pieces that we haven't even seen yet, but the imagery that you use to describe what's going on with that character, it speaks volumes. You get it right away. And then there's layers, there's depth to it, that the longer you analyze it, the more it speaks to you. Mm-hmm. And I think that is incredibly challenging to do, but you do it really, really well. And so I am just in awe of every piece that you create, especially in this series. I think that even though it's been hard for, not having you on the show, I think that you have grown so much as an artist 100%. In this last year that you can really see it in the pieces. And I think that this has been your time to shine and it's been a long time coming, that it's going to be amazing. So yeah.
No, I mean, I'm excited. There's a few pieces that have a deeper story. You could almost say the story is deeper than the art piece. There's some that it's like, okay, I get it. There's some where the story is like, okay, you're stretching it. And then there's some pieces that are just, there's so much depth in it that it's like, hold on, that it's no longer about the artwork. It's about like the story itself. The one piece that I created, and I sent that over to Shawn, it's called Hide and Seek.
I've never seen this one.
No one has, and that's why I sent it to you right now.
Wow.
So this one, some people got the rough draft, but the final, this one's called Hide and Seek. And it's the story is the greatest game of hide and seek is someone hiding behind a smiling face.
Here you go, Amanda.
So this one has a lot of minimal stories to it. Like there's just different ties. Starting from the street sign. The street sign says nowhere. You're on the road to nowhere. You know, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? How are you doing it? Then you got the comic bubble asking spare change. Obviously, we traditionally know, you know, a homeless person, which is being represented here, asking for spare change. But the metaphor in it is, what kind of change? Is it change as in like currency change? Or like, hey, do you have it in you to look at me a little bit different and not judge me off of who I am right now? Or do I put the smiley face on, pretend I'm happy, and then you give me some change? Your drawstrings to your sweater, I incorporated those. The drawstrings, well, when we can't offer spare change, whether it's, again, currency or within our heart, well, what draws you back? Smoking, drinking. You go back to that. And you're trying to let it go, but you can't because you're forced to. And so this piece right here, again, this one wasn't something that I was going to be like, this is going to hit a home run. If anything, I think this piece itself encompasses what my entire show is about. It's about looking at things a little bit differently. One of my favorite quotes is you don't need a reason to help somebody. You really don't. And so this piece right here was probably it's probably the deepest story. It's probably not the easiest in sense of imagery, but it's probably one of my, I wouldn't say it's my favorite piece in the show, but it's definitely fighting for number one.
That's amazing, brother. That is absolutely wow. And if you're listening to this, you need to be on YouTube looking at this because this is absolutely amazing. We'll share this all over all of our stuff, but with Lewis's permission, we'll share it. But I don't. But that's fucking so cool, man. There's a lot going on in there, and I see everything you're saying when you explain it. You see every single thing that you're talking about. That's absolutely beautiful.
And I think too, just the color choice that you use, like bring that up again, Shawn.
Yeah, no problem.
So his sweatshirt, that could have been any color, but you went with a camo look, which speaks to the imagery. How many times have we walked by somebody and they are invisible, right? They blend into the background, or you choose not to see them. And so I think just that right there speaks volumes, and it's subtle, but it's there and it tells the story. So that's what I was saying, of like everything that you do, it's with intention. So that's so you've been talking about this show. You keep saying the show is part of the reason you left is part of the reason you left us, was to get ready for the show. I've known about this for, I think you told me middle of last year or something. So, and it's so freaking cool. What I want to do is I want to hear our We're in the Park ad, come back. I want to talk about the show, what people can expect to see, how long it's going on, all the information about the show. And then, we'll come back. We'll talk about that, and we'll go from there. So we'll be right back.
Hey fam, what are you doing?
Well, we are doing We're in the Park.
Do you guys know We're in the Park? Because we do.
We do. So how you play this is that they give you a deck of cards with an image on it, and you get to look around and see where in the park that is.
And they're fun. So if you like to find stuff, this is what you need to do.
The amazing game, We're in the Park, right here.
If you're a seasoned Disney park goers, as we are, it's a fun, challenge even for the hardcore Disney parks fan.
We have played the We're in the Park games that we felt like, we got
still a challenge.
Oh no, still a challenge, a fun challenge though, not an impossible challenge.
They get really close to details, and you're like, I have never even seen that. I don't even know.
We're in the park. Have I seen that?
The great thing about these is that they're not in attractions and they're out in the open places. It's meant for families to play.
Besides people who've been there a lot, it's fun for people that are new to the parks as well, because you catch some of those details that you would probably miss when you're first going.
So there's images that you are finding on one side of the card, and then the other has the hint and the answer that you can reveal if you choose to.
Before it was just the hint and the answer, but now if you really want the land,
It'll tell you
they'll
where.
give you the land for an extra hint. You guys can take as long as you wish without the hint.
Yeah.
Without the hint, it's hard.
But that's what makes it fun.
But they do not just do Disney parks, obviously. What other parks do you guys actually cover?
Universal and
yeah.
all that good stuff.
East Coast, West Coast, and they're
Yes.
continuing to expand even more after that.
Check them out, we'reinthepark.com, if you need to get some game packs. They are so much fun.
We appreciate We're in the Park.
You know, they're awesome.
We
Kevin
love
and
that.
Amanda.
Get you some We're in the Park today.
Hell yeah.
Use promo code Walt's APT Podcast to save 10% at we'reinthepark.com.
Yes, indeed. We'reinthepark.com. They are amazing as well. And Amanda is like one of the owners of We're in the Park. So that's so cool. Yeah. I know, Amanda, this show will be coming out next week, but I know you guys will be in Fullerton this weekend. I hope you guys have a great time. So I know that doesn't really fit in here, but good luck this weekend on your show. It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But okay, Louie. So like I said, you left the show last July, and then now this August 15th, for one entire month, you're the featured artist at the Sacred Art show, Sacred Art exhibit, and it's in Yucca Valley, California. It's in the High Desert Artist Gallery, and August 15th. Is it August 15th to middle of September? You're the featured artist, right? Explain this whole show. What's going on with it?
So a year ago, again, just in natural Lou habit, I just jump into things. So to give you a little backstory of where this show came from,
please.
I went to school for a semester. I kind of passed. Well, I say kind of, because I took 3 classes. One was an English one was a public speaking one was art class. The English one, I got the syllabus. I dropped out the next day. So yeah, I'm not doing that. The public speaking one was fun until it wasn't what I thought it was. And I was like, yep, I'm out. But the art class, there was just something about it. I was like, all right. Now, granted, I don't like art classes. I've never taken them just because it's like, oh, draw this, draw that. And I was like, it's weak. Well, the teacher at the time, she let me run loose. Like the first assignment, I was like, hey, could I draw it this way? Sure. Oh, I'm in. And so that's why I say I kind of passed, because the only class I passed was the art one. The other 2 I dropped out and got W's, which isn't for winning. And so it was the end of the semester, and I got invited to do the art show at the school. I was like, all right, cool. So in traditional Lou fashion, I did Alice in Wonderland piece, my style. And I'm sitting there, all these other students that work selling, whether it's because it was good or their friends and family showed up, like it was just selling. Mine didn't. Not worried about it. Mind you, up until this point, I was already doing events and selling merch and wasn't really worried about that. Well, I ended up winning second place in my category. And I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, all right, cool. Well, I won a friends level membership to the High Desert Artist Gallery. Cool. Well, we got the invitation to go to the general meeting. I go, and they're like, yeah, we're working on this, and we need help here, and we need help there. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, hey, I'm in. Like, I'll help. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll help. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? And so I got involved helping with their social media. Then it came to events and marketing. I was like, yeah, I'm down. And then like 2 weeks later, I get the like what you can do while you're a member. And I was like, wait, you guys can rent the studio for that price? Now, mind you, it's a pretty good price. And I was like, it's for a month? Yeah. Shut up. I was like, sign me up. I'm down. Now, granted, no idea what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. half my show is still not planned yet because I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, hey, we need a press release. We need this. I'm like, sure. What does it look like? So I signed up for it. I pushed it a year. I was like, that'll give me plenty of time. With the goal of having, I think it was like 40 new pieces. That was the goal. By December, it was like, all right, maybe 30. By January, I was like, all right, maybe I'll introduce some of my old work since no one's seen it. By March, all that was out of the window. I just created a flyer and said, hey, let's run with it. I feel like I do better against the gun. So in this year, I've become not only involved with the gallery, but I now find myself sitting on their board. I'm now the co-chair to the PR and marketing team. And just recently, and I know we'll talk about that here shortly, just started renting a facility there.
Yep.
And so that's where that came from. And I realized, hey, if I want this show to be good, then it's got to be good. And that's what led me to saying, hey, I need to step away and dive in. And what did I do? I went back to my big five, what I always do when I'm in a creative rut. I rewatched The Imagineering Story.
Gotta do it.
I rewatched Frank and Ollie. I reread Noah's The Profitable Artist book. I went back, started watching some more Whosoever's videos and getting inspired by that. But the biggest one is at that time where I was currently working at is just seeing the young adults that say, hey, I want to create something that I can give back to them without nobody telling me I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Sacred Art, there is a piece of this show that has been on the blueprint since day one. And that's called Tom and Friends. Obviously, we just learned what Tom is. But Tom and Friends, that corner is, hey, I want to open it up to young adults that have an artistic nature. They get down with their stuff. They don't want to sit here and be like, oh, no, this isn't about me. Like, it is, but it isn't. And so for me, I was like, no, let's bring them into this. So this show is 80% me, 20% some of the young adults I used to work with, but then also just young adults I've crossed paths with. And so I'm inviting them to be on the Toms and Friends area to showcase other artists. Because here's the thing, the gallery has a pretty good footprint, but what's even bigger is it's on the highway of Highway 62, which that's the main highway in the Joshua Tree National Park, which gets millions of visitors every year. There are artists hanging up, framed, and potentially for sale in a gallery for 30 days. This allows anybody and everybody to come and witness this artwork, to understand who Joe, Jane, and all that is. Okay? But the coolest thing is if their artwork sells or they get commissioned, that puts money back in this view's pocket or puts money in their pocket for the first time, allowing them to do something with their life. It may be good, it may be bad. You only get one life. And so therefore it allows them. I'm blessed enough to share my artwork, whether it's here on YouTube with you guys, in person, drawing it, merch, cool. These guys don't got that. And it's like, you know what? It'd be selfish for me not to give them an opportunity. So yes, the show is called Sacred Art. And the reason why it's called Sacred Art is because not only has art been my outlet and escapism from my own mental health challenges, but it means the world to me to have other youth in there that have their art. And sometimes these youth, that's the only outlet they have. They don't have a wife to go to, kids to talk to go to the parks and murder churros on a daily basis. They don't got that. For some of these guys at 5:01 when the staff leaves, that their life leaves. And it's like, nah, dude, we got to give them more than that. Especially with the 16 to 25-year-olds. And I'll get to that. And I know we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But for me, this show has been that. And the centerpiece for the show, it's the Sacred Heart. The Sacred Heart, but it's a parody of it. It's my version of it. And in there, you have a ruler. You have the digital pen, the pencil, the paintbrush. But, and going back to what Amanda said about oozing details, something that's I don't commonly do it anymore, but something that's very common in my early drawings is drips. That paintbrush has a drip. It's dripping. It's a working paintbrush. I didn't want to just put a paintbrush in there just for the fucks of it. No, I wanted to show it's working. And that's another, and so that's where it originally came from, was that design. And so, again, going back to the pieces, all the main pieces in the show have a reasoning. Why is it sacred? And without showing them, because obviously that's what the purpose of the show is,
Sure.
The first 5 pieces out the gate, Perry Casa. That piece right there, it's sparking your creativity. Let your ideas just soar. False identity. That imagery, when you see that one, when I'll start posting these on social media the week before the show. That one has a look of something fierce, but it's called false identity because that's what we have to do. Some people in their lives have to act tougher, harder, when they're really not that. Another one, Chief Oso. It's a bear. It shows, hey, I am lethal when I need to be. I am here for I stand for what I stand for. However, I'm also the head of my family, my friends. Like, I stand not only for myself, but for them. But for this character, when you see him, it's a bear. Like, that's supposed to be cute and cuddly. We are until we are pushed into attack mode. And at that point, it changes. Heavy Past. That one was another fun piece. When you see it, it's like, oh, I get it. And that deals with exactly what it says it does. The trauma, trials, challenges that we dealt with yesterday. The heavy past that either we can't let go because we don't want to yet, or we just physically can't. How many people out there don't have a leg, don't have an arm, don't have a wife, don't have kids, don't have any of that no more because they're no longer here on this planet? You got to deal with it. Those are scars you can't get rid of, and you have to deal with those. And so those are just a few titles of pieces that we have. And so sacred art isn't just the art. The art that is there is my story. However, your story is your art. So whatever that looks like, that's what you create. Which then that's where the slogan for my other project came from.
Right. Yeah. I didn't expect to get emotional during this. But damn, dude. How many pieces do you have? Do you think you're gonna have?
So new pieces, I'll have close to 15, which is obviously a lot less than 40.
Right.
But some of these pieces I had to check out for. One of my good friends, Bill, and we had a conversation one night. He said, "Hey, dude, these pieces are hitting, but don't lose yourself in them." And there was some Heavy Past. After I did Heavy Past, I stopped drawing for just almost a month because it was there's layers to these pieces. There's not just the art piece. There's the music that goes into. A lot of these pieces are driven by music. I hear a line, Hide and Seek, the one we just showcased. That was from a song called Morning Sun. In the first half of his song, he's singing and rapping about how his mom came into the room in the middle of Hurricane Katrina and said, "We got to go now." And he's sitting there talking about it. And so that the art is part of the story, the music's part of the story. What I am witnessing in real life is part of the story. Hide and Seek, a homeless person. My youngest daughter, every time we go to Walmart, there's a dude that's there religiously. He's there. But when he sees Emily, because he knows that she's going to try to help him, he stands a little taller. He's not slouching. He knows, like, damn. Because he's just a person in her eyes. Yeah, she knows he needs help, but that's all. And you can see him trying to, like, hold his posture a little bit better, dust himself off, put out the cigarette, like, just because, hey, he's hurting, but he knows, like, you know what, she's trying. And there's one thing I've never forced my kids to do, but it comes naturally. And we've spent an aggressive amount of money, is when I see a homeless person. Now, granted, they love helping, but there's also that, like, glee of, like, we could just spend money? Heck yeah. And so, but no, they love it. They vibe on it. Before we hopped on this show, I'll tell this little brief story. Before we hopped on this show, I was driving, talking to Shawn, game planning the show. Young kid outside selling drinks. I flipped the U-turn so quick. Hey, he's out there. No tablet. He's got an umbrella, an ice chest. And, bought a drink, helped him out, supported his cause. Is this drink worth the price? No. Is this drink worth the story? Absolutely.
100%.
I mean, I got, 13 days before I got to submit art pieces. Who knows? That story might just find its way into a piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of these pieces are hard, because a lot of it comes from, that's lived experience right here, right now.
I can't fucking wait for this. I'm so excited for this.
I hope it ponies up. I really do. Because if not, I mean, that's a lot of artwork coming back to the house. Because I'm also going to have filtered in there's a lot of old pieces. There's a lot of pieces that people who don't know me have never seen.
Sure.
There's some pieces that never got the light of day. Turtles, Sewer Buddies, dude. I did a whole feature length of that a whole run of that, and then just killed it dead. Never had prints put in, stickers, nothing. So like that's a whole series of things that people have never seen. The old stuff. I mean, you got and the cool thing about it is, as looking at it and curating my show for my old pieces, there's pieces that have felt this same way, but I didn't give the attention to, that fits seamlessly in this. One piece that's in the show is called O'Toole. He's a robot, brain blown out, heart in his hands, and O'Toole stands for overthinking and underloved. I drew a robot because a robot's not supposed to have feelings. He's pouring his heart out to whoever will take it. And because the guessing of who likes him and who doesn't makes his circuits blow, brain goes flying out. Little did I know then that these pieces have stories. Even some of the fan art. The fan art has that I did for Medford Road Comic Con. Rocket's Return.
Yeah.
Rocket's Return was a play on Guardians 3, where instead of his homies dying, he ravages up and saves them. And I was like, so it's been in the blueprint since, but now I am just honing in on it. And so I'm stoked.
Well, we're stoked too. And you touched on a lot of different things, but one question that I don't think, at least I've never asked you. So, but you mentioned like for Heavy Pass, like you had to take a month off, right? And so my question is, when you pour so much into your pieces, how do you recharge after something like that? Besides watching Imagineering Story 5 times. But you know what I'm saying? Like it drains you. So how do you recharge
For
that?
me, it's do more. But not do more in the sense of art. It's do more in the sense of giving back. Like I do as much charity work as I can. I mean, it's just that's my go-to. And that fills the batteries. Like, hey, I want to tell this story in a different way. So when I'm drained from the drawing, I viciously put myself back into it. All right, that story's close. How do I go find another one? Who do I help?
Yeah.
Who do I show up for? Who do I take a 3 a.m. phone call for? Hey, you know what? Let's do this. And so for me, how do I recharge the batteries? It's the wife and kiddos. Those four. The 3 kids and the wife. It's those 4. It's my friends and family. I mean, it's things like, when I was doing the show, it was this. It was, hey, how can we fix that? How can we change this? How do we pivot from here? For anybody that knows me, the social club. That it's no longer just a club. Like that is the family. And then the youth that I used to work with, whether it's I was at my 9 to 5. Or, my community work on the board at the Boys and Girls Club, it's those things. It's as crazy as it sounds. I recharge by doing more and killing an aggressive amount of caffeine.
There you go.
But it doesn't make any sense. Everyone I tell it's like, do you ever rest? And I was like, I rest when I do more. Like, it's just a vibe. Today, there's 9 things on the to-do list. Let's knock them out. get 2 hours of sleep, and tomorrow's gonna be just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing 2 things and getting only 2 hours of sleep, it just hits different. And so for me, to best answer the question, I recharge by doing more.
That's freaking perfect. Amanda, do you have something else?
Oh yeah, this is going to be a 4-hour show. So
we're gonna be here for a little bit. It's not gonna be no EMH show, but we got some. This took some turns that I didn't expect, and I'm glad it did, because I feel like people know you, and they know, like, especially like with our network, people know Lewis as the guy who's got the attitude and is going to bring the heat, is going to bring the spicy topics and the controversial questions and stuff like that. But I've known you for years, and I've known that this is you. You know what I mean? And it's funny because you are literally two different. Aren't one of your pieces like Jekyll and Hyde? Don't you have one that's based on that, or like a
off what?
Or like I'm trying to
Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah. I don't think
Jekyll
you don't have. Do you have a pic of one like that?
No, the only thing I have that sounds like you're referring to is Tom's mental health.
That probably is, but
which has the three different sides of Tom.
Right. It's cool to and like when you say these things and these comments you say to stir people up, I know the real you, and it makes me kind of smile inside, and it just kind of makes me laugh, like he's just a motherfucker, and and he loves to stir shit up. But one of the most caring people I've ever met. I've said this before, and I won't get into all this stuff, but when I was going through my divorce, you were there. You're like, no, you call me whenever, and you're just that kind of guy. And with the project that you're starting, that we're going to talk about after the next break, I'm rambling now. It's just I'm in awe of you, if that makes sense. To me, you're a kid because you're young, and I'm like, you're just a smart, driven kid that doesn't fucking take no for an answer, and the ultimate family guy. And Tiffany and the kids are so fucking lucky to have you, and that's not what this is about. But you need to know that and hear that from people, because you are just an amazing human, and you show that every day, even if you don't think you do. But I just had to say that had nothing to do with anything I'm talking about. But I just want you to know that.
And I hear that a lot. Everyone always says, Kevin hits it in the ads. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
I don't drop the L word a lot. It's not my thing, and I do when it's necessary.
Yeah.
But no, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying, and I really think that this show and the projects in the horizon are gonna show people a different side of me that's not necessarily new, but one that you could say I feared, like the imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. So I never really let it show. And I got to go back to my friend that shared, hey, Lou, you're the person that will hate somebody and give them the shirt off your back in the same conversation. My brother Ears, he tells me all the time, Louis, when you don't like someone, like truly don't like someone, he's like, it concerns me, because you will give everybody a second chance.
Yep.
That's
the truth.
That's that sobby, sappy moment right there.
There it was. I didn't mean to take it that way, but
there it is.
There it is. Yep, there it is. I appreciate you.
Likewise, brother.
There.
Amanda, anything else on the show before we dive into the project?
Yeah. So, real quick, what is something that has surprised you? Because this has been a journey. This past year has been a wild ride for you. But what are some things that have surprised you about yourself, either in your art or juggling everything or anything like that?
Oh,
besides how much C4 can one person drink? Besides that,
some test of the law. No,
not
for
a
me,
sponsor.
I think, we're not a paid sponsor by any means. I think the one thing that has surprised me is, and I can't take full credit for the way this thought process is, but being able to look at risk a lot differently. So there was a few years where I was just into the podcast vibes, and we go back to school, taking that risk. That wasn't me. I'm going to go work a second job. I'm not going to quit the second job to go and potentially do something that might work. But then at the same time, too, quitting the job that I've loved I took a little break from it, but for the last 10 years, like, that was a risky move to just be like, hey, you know what? This isn't it. So the way I evaluate risk has definitely surprised me. This show, forking up money, just like, hey, we got to do this. Because if we don't, what does that look like? So for me, that surprised me. But I think another thing that surprised me in the sense of art is my willingness to keep secrets. Normally, I'm pretty heavy on, hey, here's my newest piece, blast on social media.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have this many people like, wait, hold on, what are you actually doing? And people that are closest to me asking that. And so for me, that surprised me, because then it's like, oh, I've done it. I've got so many people curious that it's actually driving the attention of like, what is this dude doing? One moment he's posting, he's painting. The next moment he's at the beach. He's driving at 3 a.m. Like, what is going on? And then, the tagline that, again, I can't take credit for it, but my uncle always says it, and I've used it a lot more in the last few years. He just put, well, like, what's next? And well is such an interesting word when you think about it.
It really is.
well, what? I don't know. What's next? And so for me, I think that's the part that has surprised me the most, is being able to step away from things that I truly love, but at the same time, too, keep secret those things that I also love.
Sure. I mean, even like you talked about secrets. I've seen you post some things about our next topic, and I'm like, what's this? And then I literally I think I asked you like last week, what the fuck is this? And he's like, is that you? And you're like, yeah, dog. And it's been like for like almost a year, and I had no idea. Like, and that's what I consider myself probably one of your good friends, hopefully. And like, I didn't fucking know, so it's like, it's very, very cool. But this show, oh man, don't go. Okay. Well, I think there's some Wi-Fi challenges. Okay. This show, again, Sacred Art show, August 15th to. Good to see you again, Amanda. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I was just saying, the show, Sacred Art, August 15th is opening night, which is it's a Saturday. It's literally, 2 weeks away? So we're literally like right there. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited to come down and check this out and hang out. I haven't seen the kids in forever. I'm looking forward. I'm asking Louis before we start, hey, is there anything any sports going on while I'm there I can watch? So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'm looking so forward to. And I know you don't see it this way as you being celebrated, because you don't see it that way, but you're being celebrated by what you're doing here, and I think that's just fucking amazing. But Yucca Valley High Desert Artist Gallery, right off the 62. You just said that, so that's.
I mean, for me, I think the reason why I don't look at it as celebrating me is because for me, I'm not looking at this as a celebration. It's more of like, if I'm being transparent, it's again to the next topic. It's closing a 35-year chapter.
It's a beginning as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's like, yeah, we're celebrating, but like, this is the end. Like, this is the end of this journey. Now it's all right. What's next? And what's next for me is probably twice as important.
And this has been an awesome journey, just being part of it for the past couple of years with you. Your new journey, I think you explained actually to me on Monday what the new project really is. I'm just like, you motherfucker. And it's just the coolest thing ever. So let's do this. Amanda, anything else on this show? And we'll take our getaway break and we'll come back and we'll wrap this up with the graphite project and go from there.
Let's roll it.
All right, let's do this. Let's hear from Getaway. We'll come back and we're gonna dive into this because this is really cool.
It's been a great show so far, but who's ready for an ad break? Did you know that the best way to keep our shows going is by supporting our sponsors? So, let's get to know more about the travel experts at Getaway Today. They've been helping to make vacation dreams come true since 1990. And whether you want to visit the happiest place on earth or to travel to Orlando for a most epic adventure, they are there to help. Are you trying to find out which hotel is your best option or which theme park tickets will work best for your visit? Are you concerned that you might need a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts will help you out. Looking to book a cruise but don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it's your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today offers peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours before your trip. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon welcome. Getaway Today guarantees the best prices, with no hidden fees, and every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million have been donated. So go ahead and dial 1-855-GETAWAY, that's 1-855-438-2929, and be sure to tell them that Walt's Apartment sent you. Or just click the link in our show notes for more information and the best deals to start your Disney, Universal Studios, or cruise vacation planning. What I'm trying to say is, if you like to travel, check out Getaway Today. Alright, so now it's time to get back to enjoying that view from Walt's apartment. Let's get back to the show.
And we are back. Thank you, Getaway Today. Check them out for all your Disney travel, whatever needs. Check them out. They're the best. Graphite Studios. That's the Graphite Project. I have the cool logo here that you sent me, which, this is, I want one of these hats. We talked about the hats already. So, I'm going to read your mission statement that you have on your Instagram, and then I want you to explain what it actually is. All right. Is that fair?
All right. That's fair.
All right. So the Graphite Studios, our mission is to generate sustainable revenue to provide free and low-cost art supplies, access to an inclusive art studio, and community-based creative projects for youth and young adults from low-income families. Through hands-on artistic engagement and supportive creative spaces, we promote emotional well-being, stress reduction, and positive mental health outcomes by removing financial and access barriers to creative resources. We empower young people to develop confidence, resilience, and healthy coping strategies while fostering personal growth, artistic skill building, and meaningful community connection. That's beautiful. That's just the coolest thing ever. When you told me this the other day, I sat in my car for 5 minutes the other day after you told me about this project the other day and just kind of took it in. I'm like, that dude, Boys and Girls Club, doing this, doing that. And what you used to do, I mean, it's just talk about it. I'll stop for a second.
Yes. So there's two pieces there. It's funny because the one that should come after has come before. And I'll start there. So it was, what was it? I want to say it was September, October. Just the word graphite stuck out to me. And it's spelled Grafight. And the reason why it's spelled that way is you're fighting to create the life that you want. So if you pull that logo back up, Shawn, the logos real quick, there's a cool little hidden nod in there. In the logos, now this is not consistent across all flyers, but it has been since we initiated this. The word "the fight" is always the same color as each other. The fight, because the fight is never over when you are creating the life you want. And so the Graphite Project, what that was an opportunity to give back to youth that want to draw, that want to create. And so we were sitting there planning out, and it came out of nowhere. It came just, all right, let's make it happen. I made a phone call to the Victorville Youth Center. It was a Tay Center. I called my buddy Mark. I was like, hey, man, I got this idea. I want to run with it. I don't want to do it at my facility, and I'll get into that little dark story here in a minute. I want to make this happen. What can we do? Dude, come on up. All right. So I was planning it. November didn't work because the holidays. December didn't work because the holidays. January, I said, hey, new year, new me. That whole mojo, all right, let's make it happen. So me, my buddy Austin, my brother Ears, we rolled up there. And it was the best, worst mistake of my life. First off, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. But I knew I wanted to give back. And that's what we did. We talked about art. We put together some art kits. However, the mission statement didn't reflect what we were doing. We held an art contest. And if you won, you got art supplies. That's a mistake, number one. Now you're pitting these youth against each other. They walk in thinking they're going to get something, and they're winning it. Like, no. Pizza. We brought pizza 3 hours later because the nearest Costco was 30 minutes away, and I was balling on a budget. Man. But the joy in these guys' eyes, being able to show art to someone they think is an artist. I don't consider myself an artist. Do I draw? Do I create? Absolutely. But we all create. And so the graphite project was then born. All right, let's start doing the whole footprints for a nonprofit. So I gathered a few people that were like, I'm throwing ideas off them. Over the last few months, the graphite project kind of sat still because I realized, hey, we need more. This isn't enough. So me and my brother Ears talked about it. He's like, let's do shoes. I was like, I can't because graphite is for artwork. It's for like stuff like that. Oh, why not? I don't know. So then it was brewing. Then in April, it came back. I was like, nah, we need to make this happen. So we started sponsoring artists. Went out to an artist and bought them art supplies. Hey, here you go. We did it in the run. We've done it 3 times so far. Cool. Perfect. That's what we're doing. And it died off until July 1st. July 1st, I signed the lease to rent a small studio that's annexed into the gallery, which will not officially be open in time for the show, but we will have a soft opening the night up so people can see the footprint, what it's to become. That's when Graphite Studios was born.
So
okay, what's the studio for? The studio is to fund the Graphite project. So proceeds from every sale that comes through Graphite Studios, whether it's in the studio or out in Sunken City's art walk tours, all those proceeds, after obviously covering costs, a chunk of those proceeds will go back to building art kits and art supplies for youth ages 16 to 25. Okay, why 16 to 25? I did a back to school drive just last week. There was crayons, there was markers, there was coloring books. Cool. It was for youth. And then I was like, okay, where are the backpacks for high schoolers? Where's this? Where's that? It's not there. So then again, I had that confirmation there's a void here. We need to be helping these young adults. These young adults, hey, we hand them crayons and paper. We look at them like they're, what are you doing? Oh, it's childish. Okay, but then when they get in trouble, you want to punish them. Where's that bridge? How are you minimizing that gap? You're not. So Graphite Studios is to allow funding to come in to give back to you. But the studio has also already evolved. By us dropping the name projects and putting the word studio, well, now it's no longer a project. We could get you whatever we want. And so if we want to do, hygiene, shoes, and all that, the Graphite Studios is just creating funds for youth 16 to 25 to go out there and fight to create the life they want. If you want to be a construction worker, all right, let's try to get your boots. Why? Because if you have good boots or good tools to go build a good house, the good house turns into a good paycheck. A good paycheck turns into hopefully you having a beautiful future as well. That's the full circle. That's it right there. And so for us, that's the project. This art show I got shared a minute ago is the end because the proceeds from this fuel that entire project. They fuel it all. Hey, we now have, merch in there, hats, shirts, all this. We have equipment to make our own merch. We have finances to say, we're going to buy a mug press. We're going to buy a die-set printer. We already have a shirt press. Okay. All that's in-house. What does that do? That minimizes our out cost and maximizes our profit. When we have a maximized profit, we get to grow as well as supporting others. And that's it. I mean, that's the wind up and the pitch is how do we give back? Because there's so much out there. Social media, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, who we're bombing, who we're fighting, who's right, who's wrong. We gotta minimize that. We gotta create healthy distractions. We gotta create young kids that are out there on the streets selling sodas at $1 a pop instead of playing video games. We gotta bring that back. And so for me, that's what graphite is. Graphite is that. You have all these nonprofits out there that are either, you know, school focused, religious focused, all that. But you don't have one just to do.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes back to one of my favorite quotes. You don't need a reason to help people. You don't. You go out there and like, hey, yeah, here's a pack of pencils. For what? I don't know. You look like you wanted to. Yeah, sure. Why not? Here's some paint. Oh, for what? I don't know. Do you want it? Sure. There you go. It's yours. Why not? What does it do? Oh, you're risking, you know, people taking advantage. Okay. Going back to risk. What happens if I don't do this? Now that person that didn't get a sketchbook and pencils is out there holding up a liquor store because, well, they wanted to make money. But that's okay, right? We should let that happen. No. Stop. Stop doing that. We need to start normalizing things and stop letting the non-normal things get by.
Damn.
That's where graphite was created.
Yeah. I don't even, Amanda? I don't know what to say. I mean, you just answered every question I was going to have. So that's
right. No, but it goes back to who you are. You've always been one to give back. You've always been one to support the youth in any way you can. And we were talking about how has this year been in terms of you growing personally, and it's allowed all of these doors to open to give back, right? A year ago, Graphite Project was just a far off dream, right? How can we help people? And now you have these opportunities, and you're making it happen. And with this show coming up in just a couple of weeks, it's kicking off this journey. And like, look how passionate you were just there of like telling us about what it actually means. And I think that is just so powerful, but it's so you, and you are the best person to lead this project. This studio,
100%
project, lead the studio, because but at the same time, it's a group effort, right? So it's bringing the community together in new ways, and it's changing lives.
Oh, 100%. You made a comment and you said that this is closing one chapter and starting a new chapter, basically. So will Sunken City continue? Or will Graphite take over Sunken City, and will it become a Walt's apartment taking over a Disney Insider thing? It's kind of saying, is it the same kind of thing? Will Sunken City still be around?
So Sunken City will still be around. This goes back to what I was saying earlier, and investing in yourself.
Sure.
This allows me to wear two different hats. This allows me to go out and create what I want, how I want. If I want to draw a homeless person on the road to nowhere, you know, that's the brand of Sunken City. Those are the designs.
Yeah.
The designs created from Sunken City go on to merch and prints and stickers that are then merchandised through Graphite Studios. When Graphite Studios sells a shirt, a print, whatever that is, those funds, a portion of those funds go back into the Graphite project. And then it becomes a self-feeding machine. Okay, why do people want to buy your artwork? Oh, not because it's cool. It could be cool-ish. But no, I'm supporting them. Why? Because the kid down the road that has that new backpack, they got that.
Wow.
And now you're no longer just donating to donate, hoping that someone gets a sandwich on a Sunday. No, you're donating, getting a shirt in return, and we're making the best possible outcome with that. And therefore, no one feels like, yeah, don't donate there. They keep all the money. Do we? Because you're wearing a shirt that says otherwise.
Right.
Hey, they have pencils to say otherwise. What? You know, I don't live in a big house, but I'm comfortable. Can we afford to move to a different house? Sure, why not? Is my wife on track to have a better paying job? Sure. Absolutely. Is my job well paying? That's so. But you know what though? That's where Sunken City comes into play.
Sure.
I could take on commissions. I could take on side jobs. You know, all those things to bring in extra money. But what's happening is when those things are created and then put into the inventory for Graphite Studio, they print the money for the Graphite project. So Sunken City will still be around, and it will be just as prominent because it's ultimately a collaboration.
Right.
Without Sunken City, there is no Graphite studio. And the reason why is because, like I was sharing a little while ago, the art is fueled by the community service I get to do. The community service is fueled because the fact that I get to draw and share, hey, I want a reason to help people. I need money to help people. I need people to help. Those two things feed each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. That's freaking great.
And so that's what it's all about. I mean, and so Sunken City, to answer your question, isn't going anywhere. If anything, Sunken City is getting a promotion.
There you go.
To allow, again, the little guy to eat. Hey, I'm moving up in a sense of doing less to allow you to do more and work your way up.
That's
which is just a sad metaphor to what we are doing right now. Hey, I'm going to step aside so you can eat.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, you know, keep on grooving. There will be shirts that are branded Sunken City in the studio. There'll be shirts that are branded the studios. This also allows me, and this isn't my original concept, but this is taking a page out of Noah's book. This allows me to create different avenues. I can create art with a meaning that has a story, that has a mental health tie. Why did you create that? Because I want people to resonate with this. So when they resonate with this, they buy merch. That merch gives back. Or if I decide just to draw some goofy rabbit drinking a C4, again, we're not sponsored. Right. Hey, I could do that. And we're just having fun with it. It allows me to honestly do more. And so for me, Sunken City will always be around because Sunken City is me. Graphite is who I want to be.
That's freaking.
Love that.
Amanda, what do you want to say? Because I'm like, what the hell? I mean, you said everything.
No, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah. But no, like I said, it is very much you, and you know it. When you help others, it fuels your fire. Like you said, it recharges you. And so to be able to do that full time, the sky's the limit. It always has been the limit. But you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Of like, that's what your dream has always been. How do I help more people? And especially the youth. And for you to have this drive and determination and this passion it's inspiring.
It really is. It's like, yeah. Did we lose her?
And then Shawn and I talking, we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, how about
no?
Yeah. Dude, all I can say is congratulations.
Yeah.
I know it's just starting, but damn, bro, you've talked about ideas and you have things come in, and like you're a very quiet person and you don't share a lot, but when you do share a lot, I mean, I think I did not expect this to go this way for an hour and a half. I expect this to be like bop, 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 bop. It's Lewis. Here he is making his comments. We got deep. It was freaking, but you know, we can't have you here on Walt's apartment without getting your opinion on a few things because that's just who the fuck you are, and we can't just be like, hey, thanks for that, love you,
right,
bye.
See you next time.
No.
It's funny you said that because obviously, if anyone's familiar with StreamYard, there's a private chat so we can conversate and network and stuff like that. As you were saying that, I put in there. I said, "Hey, don't leave off your Disney topics."
There it is.
You know,
oh no,
on it. How do we used to say it? Cue the music.
Let's
go.
Yeah, oh man, I can't even say how fucking cool this has been to sit here with you for an hour and a half and talk to you. But you got to.
You know what's funny is I don't hear anything. I just see you guys rocking out.
You know what we're listening. I'm trying to figure out a way to get that back into one of the shows because I know we don't have the Mad Tea Party anymore, but I got to put that back somewhere because it's freaking Seth Rollins for one. And Amanda, we got to work on that. We got to put that somewhere in one of the shows. I don't care if it's Imagine That. It could be the new theme for Imagine That. I'm just kidding. But
no, you don't touch Imagine That.
No.
Imagine That is the trial and error of all of those failed projects that I had. And that one is dialed.
It definitely is. I don't even know where to start, man. Let's Amanda, you got some topics? I'm sure you got some topics.
Yes.
Let's get some opinions from Lou.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it at you right now because it's been
Wi-Fi.
It's
the
Wi-Fi.
Hang on a second, Amanda. Your Wi-Fi, you went like that, and we're like,
hey, you
what?
threw it.
What?
You threw it so hard. You threw your Wi-Fi straight
through your
window.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is like, oh no, she didn't.
Here it comes.
Yeah. All right. What do you think of the new pirate?
I think it's god awful. I think it's so bad.
Have you seen it in person, Lou?
No, I haven't seen it. If you guys know me, I have not been supporting the parks that generously over the last year. It's not worth it. Yeah. Yes, you could go and get all the hours. Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, it's not worth it. Rides are breaking down. They partially work. They inflate Fast Pass. Like, well, if you get Fast Pass, the lines are faster. If you got rid of Fast Pass, the lines would be fast. It's simple math. It's just that simple. They wouldn't be slow if you didn't have a second line. Walt didn't build this park to be like, let's have privileged and not privileged in two different lines. All right. Talk about making segregation. What the fuck? That's horrible. Anyway, the pirate's trash. It's bad in the sense it sounds like the Sims game. The technology is just weird. I mean, it's bad. Like, and for them to throw it in pirates, come on now. And I've said it here plenty of times. Y'all can get rid of pirates if you're not going to fix it all the way through. If you're not going to fix it and do right by pirates, just get rid of it. Don't sit here and be like, oh, we got a new animatronic, but the other guys still don't work. Stop it. Stop it right now.
From what I've heard, they've done a pretty good job with it, and I guess everything else is looking pretty good and working pretty good right now, with the addition of the weird, creepy pirate. But I haven't seen it. So I know Amanda and Kevin have seen it.
Amanda's animatronics aren't working enough.
Yeah, she went into B mode, so maybe she'll pop back. I'll ask you this while we wait for Amanda to come back. How do you think Josh is doing so far?
It's hard to say. I mean, if you're because you're still filtering out what he is doing and what he isn't doing.
Right.
I think you're gonna find out what Josh is made of August 15th.
Yeah.
D23 weekend, you're gonna find out what he's made of. And the reason being is because, yes, he's still new. However, the plans for D23 are still able to be changed. They can change it right now if they chose to. So I have nothing negative about Josh. However, I didn't like Josh to begin with. Like Josh D'Amaro he's a face. That's all he is.
Yeah.
I've said it on this podcast 1.5 billion times. You will have no success with Disney when you continue to promote within. The best example is Bob Iger. Bob Iger 1.0 came in, crushed it. Bob Iger 2.0, no, he didn't. Why? It was already in the company. Chapek didn't work.
Yeah.
Walt's nephew way back in the day didn't work. Every time they've seen success, it's been from outsiders. Every time. Whether that's in the animation, whether that's in the parks, whether that's in travel, across the board. Josh D'Amaro he's been at the Forbidden Table for a few years now.
Yeah.
He just has a different title.
We've lost Amanda. We've lost Amanda. She said that her Wi-Fi's out, so we've lost her.
Oh no!
She got to ask her question though. So
let's come back for round 2. But I got no quarrels with Josh D'Amaro, but I think the reservation systems are still there, and that was his win. Yeah. He needed to get rid of that for his win. These discounted tickets, but raising the prices of food, that doesn't make sense, Okay. And you only release them, these 8 early hour tickets for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Stupid. Tell me you don't need money without telling me you don't need money.
Right.
If it was a new ticket to the end of the year, all right, cool.
Sure.
Interesting. A new ticket for 2 weeks? Oh, tell us you want to make sure quarter 2 looks good.
Yeah, and they sold out like in a day? Sold them all like in a fucking day?
Yeah. Because it's like the fans that buy Oogie Boogie tickets. You don't go to Oogie Boogie for Oogie Boogie. You go to rip the fucking park at a cheaper rate and no lines.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I mean, we could bullshit all night long. I know you have things to do as well, but I do have one final question for you. What's next for Sunken City Designs and the Graphite Project? What's next after the show? What's next?
So right now we're gonna let 2026 kind of let the dust settle of the show. We're gonna let that settle. We're gonna get Graphite Studio off the ground. We're gonna plug a few things in for the outreach aspect of the project. But 2026 we're gonna kind of cool our jets. For 2027 though, we have for Sunken City Designs, the biggest thing for Sunken City in that sense is to get back on the art walk scene, doing more shows. We teased it a few months ago. We are bringing skateboards back. We are working on that. Those are back in production. For the Graphite Studios, that has its own pillar where we want to introduce a art night in the studio. Hey, artists all around, come draw, hang out, donations, pizza,
right on.
Music. Bring the energy. Invest in other artists. Give them somewhere to hang out. For Graphite Project, well, that's just putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
Putting ourselves in front of youngsters. For Graphite Project and the studio, we do have 2 people. We're working on more for 2027. We have speakers coming in to talk about what they do in the field of art. So we have that. And we're putting people in front of them. Because a lot of these youth think being a celebrity, a TikToker, an influencer, that's the moneymaker. Or the opposite. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a cop, a fighter. No, I'm going to be a cop. I don't even know why I said that. Like all these things, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to do that to make money.
Yeah.
No. But no one realizes, hey, sometimes being an artist makes you money. And sometimes your art isn't just what you think art is. Not everyone's a Bob Ross, and that's okay. You know what, though? You could sit there and just paint, sculpt, 3D modeling, 3D printing. Hey, for all the haters out there on AI, I get it. I have much respect to your hate, but at the same time, too, that is the future. People are going to that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you're an AI prompter. Now, if you're selling AI art as your art, you're a piece of shit. Like, that's all there is to it. But if you're like, oh, I'm skilled in the form of prompting AI to create an image that you want, Hey, do it. Siri tells you how to do this. Alexa makes your grocery shopping. Prime ships it. Who the fuck are you to judge AI? Like, be honest.
Right.
Who are you? We all do that under our own theory. I'm not going to say it because she'll start talking to me right now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? What's the weather? Google. Yeah, you get the physical, but Google's doing it. Stop it. Everybody that's against AI, that shit's been around for years. But right now, it's disgusting because you don't know anything else different. Canva. I know you use Canva, but hey, people that use Canva, guess what? You're just choosing your font style. Where do you want to place the image? Left, right, top, center? What are you doing? And you're a graphic designer? Get the fuck out of here.
Right. Oh, I don't. I would never say I'm a graphic designer. I fucking suck at that shit.
If you don't have your own personal style, touch, or mission, what are you doing? Now, if you know who you are, why you are, and what you're doing, own that shit. Okay? Guess what? There are people out there that are anal doctors. They look in your butthole. No one ever chose to do that.
Right.
No one's like, I'm in 5th grade. What are you going to be? Oh, I'm going to be a butthole checker. No. You're like, hey, you know what? It pays good. I'm good at it. It's got good hours and benefits. Fuck it. Why not? One of the podcasters I talk to or watch, you can't be fat and cry about it. You're either fat and you're okay with it, or you're fat and you don't like it. You cannot be fat and be okay with it and cry about it. Cannot do that. If you either want to change it or you don't. And if you don't, then you're fucking proud of who you are. Simple as that.
That's fair.
Can't cry when other people make fun of you if it's the truth.
Dude, you're the fucking man. I appreciate taking all this time. I know you're busy as hell right now, and I know we slotted like 45 minutes to do this. And I can't thank you enough for going in depth with us and telling us what's going on with you, where you've been, what's coming up. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you, and so happy for you for what you got going. So, again, August starts August 15th to September 15th. Sacred Art Show, featuring the art of Juan Luis Medina. It will be at the High Desert Artist Gallery in Yucca Valley, California for one whole month. Come out and say hi. Come out and meet the man. Come out and check out his stuff. Dude, I'm so happy for you. And I wish you nothing but luck. You know that. You're a freaking amazing human, and I appreciate you so much. You have any final thoughts or anything?
Nah, man. Just the fact that when you were saying, we only started this for 45 minutes. Hey, the hour and 40 minutes we've been hanging out, guess what? That's an extra 45 minutes of further investment and further people to hear more about it. So it's all good, man. No hard feelings. I love this. I'm stoked to be on here. And who knows? Maybe I'll pop up here soon.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you in a couple weeks. And until next time, I want to thank everyone for listening. And as always, we hope you enjoy the view from Walt's apartment. Have a good night, everyone.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.